ConNeckted is the City of Charleston's largest social justice art installation in 30 years. At the City Gallery in downtown Charleston, Best Friends of Lowcountry Transit is participating by installing Trolley Timeline, which invites people to look at our public transit past and look into our future with their suggestions and ideas. We're also inviting people to tell their stories on video about how public transit has affected their lives. Here are some of those stories.
Hello, I'm LaQuetta Jenkins, and I'm from North Charleston, South Carolina. I grew up in West Ashley. I used the bus system as a child, coming over at the Ashley River to my grandmother's house during the summer times. And it was something that was very important to me. This day and time, I'm not really familiar with bus system because I don't use it myself, but I do have a lot of my coworkers that use it, and it's very much so needed in order for them to get to work. Ashley River, take me home to the place where I belong. Cross the Ashley River, take me home, take me home. It was the song we would sing riding the bus, me and my siblings, my two brothers, and my sister. We made the song up. That's the Ashley River bus that we would catch from West Ashley to my grandmother's house downtown on Cannon Street. I would like to see the bus system that would connect Charleston County, Dorchester County, and also Berkeley County.
We just have a hand for all the artists that did this dance work.
My name is Barney Blakeney, and I'd like to see public transportation in Charleston increased in the frequency of routings, as well as the increased number of routings. I think it's a positive for everybody. This individual transportation, everybody's got a car, is not good for our ecology or our economy. So I think once Charleston moves to the point where we understand that mass transportation is not only the move of the future, but a move for good common sense, we'll be in a better place.
My name is Jeff Becker. I'm from New Orleans. Not originally, but I've lived there for half my life. And during Katrina, we had two vehicles. I didn't want to leave, but my wife made me. I had two small kids. One was 2, the other one was 5. And we got in the car. And we in one of our cars, we took people with us, and then we had a small pickup truck, and we took that one as well. So we made sure we had people with us, and we left, and we went to northern Louisiana, and from northern Louisiana we drove to Charleston, to Sullivan's Island, oddly enough, to where I had a relative. I had a bad fall in the evacuation, and my relative who lived on Sullivan's Island was a doctor, and he had space, so we went and stayed with him. And around December, January of 2006, we headed back. It was devastating to see what happened to our city. It was devastating to hear the stories of how people couldn't leave. People couldn't get to their loved ones who were trapped in houses and nursing homes, and they had no way to get out of them, and people had no way to get to them.
And how would public transit have affected this if it had been operated differently?
Well, let me tell you a funny story here. I had a friend who I used to travel a lot for supervising trade shows. I traveled a lot, and I had a friend. I was no longer doing that, but a friend of mine who was still doing that was at a convention in New Orleans, and he was in town, and this storm was coming, and he called me up, and he said, "Well, what should I do?" I said, "Well, you should go to the airport and get on whatever plane takes you out of New Orleans. Doesn't matter where it's going, just leave." And he said, "Okay." And then he called me from the airport, and he said, "The airport is closed." what should I do? I said, well, take a taxi to the Greyhound bus station or the train station. They're the same place in New Orleans. And you can either take a train or a bus to anything that gets you out of New Orleans. He goes there, he goes to the train station, bus station, calls me up and said, the train station and bus station is closed, nobody can leave. This is before the storm, this is a day before the storm, day and a half before the storm at least. And he said, what should I do now? I said, well, why don't you get in a taxi and come over to my house, and you can get in a car with me, and you can leave the city with us. And when he got to my house, we were watching the news, and there was somebody on the television saying, there's a mandatory evacuation, everybody has to leave the city. And somebody was asking a question, said, what if you're in town on business? And he said, if you're in town on business, you should go to the airport, or you should go to the bus and train station and take any transportation out of the city. And my friend, who had just done that, he said, who is this idiot talking on the television? I said, that would be the mayor of New Orleans.
Anything else you'd like to say about New Orleans and the transportation system there?
Well, they're putting in some more trolley lines, but they're really more geared toward tourists. So I think they're trying to get people into the new up-and-coming gentrified areas. So right now, some of the trolleys, as nice as they are, really are a tool of gentrification in my mind. I think the bus systems are very erratic. My daughter used the public bus because there was no school bus because of cuts in funding. She used the public bus system to go to school in the morning, and generally in the morning it worked pretty good, but after school she would have to wait sometimes hour and a half. There was no schedule that they stuck to because they had too few buses, and she often would call me and say, Dad, I've been at the bus stop for an hour and a half. Can you get me or get somebody to get me? So I think that it's a challenge there. I know from other cities where I've been on buses, or subway, they're usually packed. They're usually full of people. I never see the buses in New Orleans driving by packed with people. They're always sparse. There's never really that many people in them. So I don't think they're used as effectively as they could be.
The ConNeckted installation continues at City Gallery at Waterfront Park in Charleston, South Carolina until August 27, 2017, and should not be missed by anyone concerned about the City of Charleston, its current direction, or social justice in the Lowcountry.